Hello, friends. We're going to be doing this is actually going to be page 3. Page 3. We're going to be talking about galaxies. We're also going to be needing page 4, page 5, page 6, and then we're also going to need the very last page, which is about moon phases. We'll do after. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are galaxies. So we're going to be doing our solar system unit 3 review. So galaxies. I'm going to go through and highlight my blanks. These are the major points that you need to know for FSA. That's going to help you with studying. I do this so I don't miss a blank. And then we have to do that. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about galaxies and stars. Okay. So galaxies and stars. We live in a galaxy that has gas, dust, and billions of stars. We live in the Milky Way galaxy. Stars are made up of gases. They are large balls of hot gas. If you stay in one spot, they stay in one spot, even though they appear to move across the sky, and that is because the Earth is rotating or spinning around. Different stars can be seen in different seasons because we are in different locations based on where we are rotating around the sun, revolving around the sun. My apologies. Revolving. Rotating is spinning. Revolving is going around an object. The star in our solar system is the sun, and it gives off energy. If we remember, everything starts with a sun. It is the source of all energy and life. The sun looks large and bright because it is the closest star to us. If we remember, there's many other stars that are just as large or larger, and they look really small because they are so far away. Stars can be different based on their brightness, their size, and their distance from us. And so those are the main points for galaxies and stars. All right. All right, now let's talk about rotation and revolving. And you heard me use those two words, and I did mix up rotating and revolving. Rotating is something spinning on its side. Revolving is going around an object. So rotating is spinning, and revolving is going around. That is the difference. That is important to know because the Earth rotates and it revolves. So when you rotate, you're spinning on an axis. Earth only takes 24 hours to rotate on its axis, and that is a day. So it takes 1 day to rotate and spin around completely. Rotation causes day and night, and that is because when we are rotated and facing away from the sun, it's night. When we're facing the sun, it is day, and we keep rotating, and that process continues. That is why it is night on one side of the Earth and day on the other side. The moon also rotates around its axis, and it revolves around the Earth. Now, revolving means you're moving around something. Earth takes 1 year, 365 days to revolve around the sun. That is what a year is, how long something takes to revolve around the sun, or the Earth, not just something. Revolution causes the different seasons because where we are in relation to the sun causes our temperature changes. The moon revolves around the Earth in 27 days, and that is a month. So that is rotating and revolving. On page 5, we're going to be talking about sun, planets, asteroids, and comets. Space objects. A sun, we already said, is a large object in space that is made of gas and it produces its own light. A planet is a large body in space. It orbits around a star and does not produce its own light. Our light is produced by the sun. It comes from the sun. The moon, a moon, is a natural object that orbits a planet. The moon is, we only have one moon for Earth, so we call it the moon that rotates around Earth, but not every planet, but a lot of planets have their own moon or moons. Some planets, especially the outer planets, have many moons that rotate around them. An asteroid is essentially a space rock. It's an object that's found in the solar system and it orbits the sun, but it is much smaller and not as round as a planet. We have an asteroid belt where most of them are found. A comet is an object made of rock, ice, and dust that revolves around the sun. Oops. I almost forgot to highlight that. And that ice and dust and gas makes the tail that looks like a shooting star. And that is space objects. Now let's talk about the difference between inner planets and outer planets. Now I mentioned the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt is right here. That separates the inner planets and the outer planets. Now, inner planets and outer planets, the inner planets all have common characteristics, and the outer planets all have common characteristics. And that's what we're going to write here. And this is something that you need to know about our planets. Now, composition is, what are they made out of? An inner planet is made out of a rocky surface. But an outer planet is gaseous. They're known as the gas giants. And these are called terrestrial planets, like Earth, rock. Atmosphere in inner planets is thin, and an atmosphere in outer planets are dense or very thick. Inner planets tend to be much smaller, not on this is not to scale, but they tend to be much smaller than the very much larger outer planets. The inner planets, they're called inner because they are closer to the sun, and the outer planets are farther from the sun. They're outside of the asteroid belt. Now, I also mentioned moons earlier. The inner planets have very few, if any. There are some planets that do not have any at all. And like Earth only has one. And the outer planets are the ones that have a lot of moons. The inner planets do not have rings, and the outer planets, all of them have rings, even if we can't see them. The inner planets are warmer because they are closer to the sun. And the outer planets are colder because they're much further from the sun. Their years are shorter because it takes them less time to go around. And the outer planets are longer because it takes them longer to go around the sun. So that is planets. And that is my piece that I put after that, so we don't have to see the next page. So the very last page here, I'm actually going to, I think, rip it off for now. Looks like this. The moon makes one complete revolution around Earth approximately every 29 days. That's about a month. The moon does not make its own light that is visible to us on Earth because it reflects the sunlight. Remember, planets and moons do not make their own light. The phases of the moon depend on its position in relation to the sun and the Earth. So based on where the sun is, this did not color very well, so I'm going to make this my sun. And then Earth is in the middle. Okay. I'm going to draw. This did not come out very well, so we're going to draw the outline here so we can see them better. So the dark is the shadow, the white is what we see on Earth. Okay. So I'm going to do that here too. And we're going to list what these are. Okay, this is a new moon. This is a full moon. This is a first quarter moon. And this is a third quarter moon. And those are our moon phases. So that will be all of our solar system review.